I don't know. I tried everything actually.
Summer or winter?
Depends actually, but I think summer.
You cooking or someone cooks for you?
Both. My wife cooks for me, but I love to cook as well.
Britney Spears or Beyonce?
Britney.
Have you done a
Oh
cover
yeah,
of
yeah,
Britney Spears?
yeah,
You
yeah.
have.
Yeah, in Instagram, not on the YouTube, but in Instagram. Yeah,
Yeah, I got to check that out. What does your regular fitness routine look like off tour?
it actually depends where I am. Like, if I sit at home, for example, for 1 month, for 2 months, basically it's just the gym with the weights. Like I'm lifting weights and stuff, and basically it's just a regular exercise like bench press, squats, and all these powerlifting and bodybuilding moves. Plus, after that, I'm punching the bag for 5 rounds, 3 minutes for 5 rounds. And if I prepare for some like competition, like boxing or whatever, I try to do like weights in a weeks, and the rest of the days I just train boxing, like sparrings, punching bags, punching pads, and all this stuff. But if I'm not preparing for something, I just do these bodybuildings and powerliftings exercises, and I do cardio like a boxing. You know what I mean? And that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but if I on tour, basically I train like 2 days in a week or 3 days in a week, and it's just the same, like the basic powerlifting moves, and except the cardio, I do boxing exercises. You know?
Yeah. Then do you do like more cardio when you're preparing for a tour?
Yes.
Okay. How has lifting weights affected your life on and off stage?
It doesn't affect at all, like in a bad way, but in a good way. I built some muscles, and I really believe that if you want to build some muscles, you have to lift heavy weights, like if you use testosterone, if you use steroids, you can build like muscles without heavy weights, and you just repeat not 5 or 10 reps, but 20 or 30 until you like muscle start burns, or it's just like you cannot do it like one more time. But I really believe if you like a natural and you want to grow some muscles, you have to lift like heavy weight for 5 reps, for 6 or 5 or 8 maximum reps, and that makes sense because your nerve systems doesn't get like really exhausted, and overload, and like your muscles and your brain start to realize, actually I need that muscles, and I need to keep that muscles to keep like lifting the heavy weights, but at the same time you have to make a pause, like for example, first 2 weeks you go hard, and then like you have to relax a little bit, and like do some exercises, not powerlifting moves maybe, but just keep your body on tonus, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I always was skinny, very skinny. For me, like I want to looks great on the stage, like a big front man, because we play like heavy metal, and I have to like how you call it, be the same like my music, you know what I mean, like match it.
Yeah.
It affects me like in the good way.
Awesome. How do you fit in any kind of training or workouts when you're actually on tour?
So it's basically very difficult because tour life is very exhausting. For example, right now we have good conditions because like we selling 1,000 tickets, and we can afford a good bus with the sleeping bunks, and we can actually afford hotels and all this stuff, but at the same time you're out of your regime. So basically when I staying at home, I go to sleep like 9 or 10 p.m. and I wake up really early because my body like works like in this way, you know. I wake up
Yes.
at 5 or 6 a.m. every day, no matter what, you know. If I go to sleep like really late, like 2 a.m., maybe 3 a.m., I wake up at 6 or 5, you know.
Yeah.
And on tour, like you play like 9 p.m. or 10 p.m., and then you go to sleep maybe 11 or 12, sometimes 1 a.m. But I wake up at 5 or 6 a.m. no matter what, even on tour, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you like drive 10 hours, 8 hours, then play shows and every day and every night, you know, and you don't sleep well, your body stressing a lot. And
Yeah.
that means you're losing your muscles. That means you're losing your health. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
at the same time, to keep your body on tonus and good physical condition, you have to work out actually, and this is another stress. So back in the days when we play in front of 50 people, 100 people, and we have this poor van, like small van we sleep in, and we had no money at all, and we did it for 5 years or some shit. I tried to work out as well, you know, but I was young. I was like 25, you know. Right now I'm 30, and I feel that
Yeah.
age, you know, like it makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we have this opportunity to like have a good boss and a good condition so I can work out more, you know.
Makes sense.
So
I
it's
saw,
very
sorry,
difficult. It's very difficult.
I saw a video of you, I think one of your vlogs where you had resistance bands and you were kind of, I don't know if it was sort of for a pump or just to kind of get your heart rate up
So
just before the
my
show, like a
yeah.
green stretchy one,
Yeah,
and you
it's just
were,
for pump. Yeah, just
yeah,
for pump. Because when you go on the stage, it's a beautiful lights, you know, and your muscles looks great, and because of the lights, and I
yeah,
just really want to pump it up, you know,
yeah, makes
get
sense.
some
All right.
blood.
We've all seen you bleed with the mic hitting your
Yeah.
forehead. Have you have you had any other injuries related to performing on or off stage?
Not really. Sometimes I have dizzy when you had like goes over, you
Yeah,
know, because when I scream, I really squeeze all of my muscles, you know, and it makes like blood pressure goes really high. And sometimes some parts of the songs it's really hard to sing because it's a long phrase or some stuff, you know. And before that, I was like jumping or something, and then I screaming, and after that I feel high, you know, and dizzy because of the blood pressure and all this stuff. It happens to me all the time, but it doesn't like affect me or some shit. Besides this fact, nothing really like happens.
but it never shows. You always look like you're just
Of
perfect.
course, I try to look like normal.
I know your secret now. Everyone does. So you're
Okay.
performing, yeah? You're
Yeah.
constantly night after night, and you have very like aggressive vocals. How do
Yeah.
you prevent injuries from like vocal strain or, just getting really exhausted?
It's really difficult again because you can do it like very technical way, and you can do it without any hurts of your voice or issues. Another way, you just jump in, move, and scream like a psycho, you know? And that way I prefer because it's just pure English. Because of my genetics or because of my experience, I don't know. I never lost my voice, never. The small issue I have with my voice is just goes lower. So on tour, after 4 or 5 days, my voice, like when I'm talking, it gets lower, you know, and I cannot sing very high. I cannot take this note when I'm
Yeah.
singing like clean, you know. And just to make sure your chords is fine, you have to warm it up before the show. At least do some few exercise to warm up, and then you have to make sure that your blood come to your neck. So I do like this, this like straight my neck and squeezing the muscles around my neck, you know what I mean? And I make
Yeah.
sure my blood come to my neck, you know? And to be honest, I never warming up before the show, like with my vocals, but I start to do that because I can feel with the age I have to like, start to do that because I'm not young already.
Do you track your food, track your calories and your macros, protein and stuff?
No, never. When I at home, I eat very clean, and just because I start to get this diabetes, because I did my lab work, like blood test, and it says my sugar level is very high because I sweet tooth. Like I very like chocolates and carbs and stuff like that. Whole my life, since I was a kid. I like eat a lot of sweets, like a lot. And right now it affects me and my sugar very high and I have like some side effects because of that with my health and I want to stop it. So when I'm at home, I eat like for example, when I wake up, I eat 2 eggs, like scrambled eggs plus some vegetables between 7 or 9 a.m. Then I go to like gym or walk with dog or some shit, do some like exercises. And then 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. I eat turkey or chicken or maybe beef sometimes with a lot of vegetables as well and maybe a little bit of carb like porridge. And then at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., this is my like last meal, I eat cottage cheese. It's a very common thing in Europe and in Russia as well. And maybe like some fruits, not very often. And that's it. Then I try to not eat anything before I go to sleep. And maybe if I'm very hungry, I can eat some nuts. And that's it. But on tour,
Okay.
you cannot eat like that. On tour, it's very like difficult to eat clean. So basically, when I just jump on the tour, I try to eat clean and try to find something good, and eat maybe in the restaurants, but it's expensive, But in the end of the tour, I start to eat chocolates, McDonald's, and all this stuff, and it's very unhealthy to me.
That is true. So you're basically eating like high protein and then your carb sources are mostly from vegetables and fruit.
Yeah.
Do you eat or avoid certain foods for your vocal health when you're touring? Do you
Nah.
restrict it? No. Okay. Your favorite cheat meal or guilty pleasure?
It's chocolate,
Chocolate.
milk chocolate.
Okay. I see in your posts and your stories that when you're attempting to break your personal records, you're not afraid to show when you fail. Like you go, nope, and then you don't hit your personal record. It's refreshing to see because people are always posting like the highlight reels.
I really don't understand why people are ashamed to post things like that. And when I like posted, I was surprised. I started to read my DM in Instagram, and a lot of like men text me like, "Oh, I really respect that you post you failed. It's not a common thing." I was like, "What's the problem? Like,
Yeah,
why?" I don't
yeah,
understand it. For me, it's fine. I'm not like that guy who ashamed of his fails, or I'm not scared to lose. For example, if I go to fight or like boxing or whatever, I'm not afraid to lose because it's normal thing. You can lose even, especially with my weights. Like 90 kilograms, one shot, one lucky punch, you done. And it's not a bad thing. Everybody can lose.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, what's the problem? It's not a problem. I'm not a bodybuilder or powerlifter. I'm not the strongest man in the world. Of course, I cannot put on my shoulders that much weight and just like, okay, I can deal with that easily. No, of course not. I'm not strong at all. So what's the problem to like
yeah.
show the reality?
One of the things that I really respect about you is that you are so brutally honest with things, like you don't care.
I love truth. I respect when people like telling truth, even if I don't like this truth, but I respect that
Yeah.
because I don't like when people lying.
A rock star has always been associated with drugs and alcohol, right? And we've lost so many great musicians to that lifestyle. You being all into health and fitness, do you feel like you're an outcast, or do you think that, the whole industry has shifted now towards being more healthier?
I really feel that the whole industry become more healthy, and I like it just because I think that the sport industry in the internet getting more popular and popular, getting huge. When I was like 19 years old, I almost died because of the drugs, and right now I don't use any of the drugs, and I'm not smoking. I don't drink, not just because it's bad or something, just because I don't need it, I really
Yeah.
don't need it. I don't understand why I need it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't judge people taking drugs or smoking or drinking alcohol. It's their deal, it's their business, it's not my business. But I really try to push from my page a sport like morals and stuff like that, just because I like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For example, a lot of people I play with or I share stage with, they drink alcohol, they smoke it, but I don't mind. It's their business, is their life. I'm not that guy who gonna tell you like, hey, you're wrong. You have to go to the gym. No, because I'm not sure if a gym is good for your health. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that like boxing or fighting stuff is good for your health. How they call it, toxic masculinity or some shit. It's not
Yeah.
about me, but at the same time, this is my passion. At the same time, I really love that. So I will make sure that from my page you will see that content. And if you like it, I'm down with that. I respect that and I love that. But if you don't, it's up to you. And if you prefer like drink or do alcohol or drugs, it's your business. But I think you're wrong. I think this is a not good way for your health, for your lifestyle, for the example for your young generation. You know what I mean? But who I am to judge?
How important then do you think it is for touring musicians to work on their health, like in general, their health and fitness?
So it depends of your genetic or and health condition because I really don't understand when and I really don't know how people can drink a lot using drugs and then go on tour for the years, and they doing fine. They feeling fine. If I do drugs or drink alcohol and like on tour, I will die in a few years. You know what I mean? So basically, I would like highly recommend not to drink on tour, not to use drugs on tour, because in the long term, you can perform longer and you can stay high energy on the stage longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What is one sport you've always wanted to try, but you have not yet?
I don't know. I tried everything actually. Literally everything.
Really?
Yes. Hockey, soccer, American
What about
football,
ballet?
basketball. What is that?
Ice skating or ballet?
Actually, I tried ice skiing, but Bali, yeah, I could try it.
Yeah, there's a goal. If you could choose one person to train with, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't care. Maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I
You
was
know,
thinking,
because
because
he's a legend, and he's still alive and he's in a good
yeah,
shape.
he's on my list as well. Definitely, like I would
Yeah.
love to train with him. Do you have
Yeah.
anything you want to add?
Not really. I
No.
really appreciate your attention and your interview. It's really
Uh,
cool. Thank you.
th- Thank you so much for being here. You're awesome.